All right, cyber traders, good morning and welcome on back here to another brand new day inside our live trading room. This being Tuesday, July 12th. Great to see Jeffrey, Alex, Gene, Kurt, Henry, Renzo, Chris, Wayne, Norman, John, and all of us live inside the trading room. Once again, I'll ask, where are the ladies at right now? Where's Leda? Where's Kathleen? Where's Nina, etc., and all of our ladies of the cyber group room? Great to see all of us, at least otherwise for right now, and great to see all of us back here on social media, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Hey, I got Karen. There we go. Great to see Karen inside our live trading room. All right. So with that in mind, folks, a couple of housekeeping notes to begin. Fausto will officially be back on Thursday, just so you know. He'll be back in the saddle, and I'll be tagging out for him. He'll be back doing the morning meetings come Thursday this week. He may even pop his head in at the market open today inside our live trading room, May. So for all of us there right now, Michael, Kathleen, Carol, Karen, Jean, Renzo, Robert, just be on the lookout. You might have Fausto pop in right at the opening bell here inside the live trading room. But with that, we do not have class today. We started the phase 1 stock course just yesterday. We'll continue that tomorrow. We don't do class on Tuesdays, right? That's of course because today being Tuesday, we have our weekly Traders Talk workshop live inside the cyber group trading room. So for Glenn, Michael, Kathleen, etc., you folks know, but even furthermore to any of our newly enrolled students or just trial members testing our room out for this week, this is a really important workshop to be a part of live this morning at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So all you need to do is be inside the live trading room at that time at 11 o'clock Eastern. I'll jump back on the mic at that point and we'll begin our weekly Traders Talk. So any detailed questions that you may have or trades as a whole that you wanted to go over with us, send it over to Josh at ctutrading.com. That, of course, goes to all of us on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. However, you just need to be inside our live trading room to be a part of that workshop later on this morning. So for all of us in social media, I'll just say this ahead right now. Just go right down to the link on the blue banner below, especially if you wanted to be a part of our weekly Traders Talk workshop this morning. All right, so with that, I'll tell you, markets should be a little flat today as we were expecting them to be yesterday, and that's because I'm led to believe we have the CPI numbers coming out tomorrow morning, if I'm not mistaken, at 8:30 Eastern time. So likely going to be more hesitation before the inflation numbers are out, and then we'll get a big volatile move coming up tomorrow morning. That doesn't mean that there won't be a move to take today, but I'm just expecting things to be a little light with that in mind. I treat it similar to like a Fed meeting to a degree. And also keep in mind, we're literally in the middle of summer, in the middle of July right now. So, with that, things normally aren't, as heavily traded. Normally the SPY trades a lot less volume during summer months anyway. So that's where I'm just kind of pointing out to you. Let's not force any trades out there today, folks. All right. So with that, HSTO, hey, it was on our pre-market list, ended up making a nice big pop prior to 8 o'clock, but it fell kind of flat. I'm going to continue to put this on our list heading into the open, this one, and also another one that was on the pre-market list, GOEV. So I'll put both of them just on the main list to begin. The news out on HSTO looks like they had a 1 for 20 reverse split. That's the only news that came out on this stock from, and that was actually back from June 3rd. How about that? I don't have any headline on this stock over the last month. Nothing. That's the most recent headline, and that was back from June 3rd. So, if there's no headline, that doesn't mean that it can't move. It could be natural short covering or day traders like us here in this room, looking to squeeze the stock up. But you don't want to think that you are the smart money with this type of trade. Remember, we're followers. We're not leaders. We follow the big money, right? And it's okay to call yourself a follower in that sense. We don't look to try and squeeze the stock up ourselves because we know that we can't. Like my 1,000 or 2,000 shares is not going to do anything to the stock. But why I bring that up is because, well, you need to follow the volume. When the volume dies off on this type of stock, once it peaks and then we see the drop off in the volume thereafter, that's where you begin to see a big pullback or fade move and it really begins to go the other way. So the HSTO, hey, I'll put on our list for right now. It still looks pretty enticing as a potential runner. Just need to see the stars align for that to happen. Support growing on the bid, and more importantly, continuing to see more buying, more volume getting filled from the ask. Same to be said here on the GOEV trade. Very similar type of run up here. I'll check Benzinga one more time just to see if there's any news on this one. I know HSTO just had that 1 for 20 reverse split back in June. Oh, yeah. All right. I just got off Twitter and I saw this anyway. Should have realized right away here. So GOEV, some news came out. So they're electric vehicle based company. Canoo is their name. Canoo shares trading higher after Walmart signed a definitive agreement with the company to purchase 4,500 all electric delivery vehicles, beginning with the lifestyle delivery vehicle, with the option to purchase up to 10,000 more units. Hey, that's a headline, right? So nice reaction off that GOEV trade. For right now, I'll put this on our list similar to HSTO. This one at least has some headline tagged with it. Big news with Walmart, right? So you'd anticipate a nice reaction with that in mind, but it's already moved up 75%. So, to see this pull back at the open would not be surprising whatsoever. Again, the key would be, do we have more buying coming in from that point, right? So HSTO, GOEV. Actually, what I even want to do before we officially go across the percent gainers and losers list here is really briefly just brush upon a couple of the stocks that we ended up trading from yesterday morning and yesterday afternoon. So really briefly, the Viru trade ended up making a beautiful move after the market opened up. This was not on our morning list at that point, but we called it out very quickly after. A few of our students were on top of this early on and got my attention to it pretty quick. So from there, we were able to run it up pretty nicely from like 1350 even all the way up to 1550 later on throughout the day. Just gave us multiple opportunities to re-enter this position. You're not trying to hold on throughout the duration of the entire day. That's not what we look to promote. On the contrary, we don't look to like promote scalping, getting in and out within like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, obviously. But it's to say that, again, much like I just said on HSTO, when the volume begins to die off, then the momentum on a stock's trend will ultimately look to die off with it. So that's where this Viru trade pulled back. And then, hey, it held support at 14, gave us another entry off support, and then another entry off breakout resistance here off 1450 later on. So, that's where I say, like, if you just keep your eyes on this stock throughout the day, should it have pretty easy to identify levels, then that's like a beautiful stock to try and follow and anticipate a big move off of. So for right now, Viru heading into the market open, it's flat. It's down a little bit. It'll be on our side list. If it ends up making a nice big pop after the first, 10, 15 minutes of the open, I'll be pretty interested. Same to be said on KSPN, but with KSPN and the other one that I'll show, PLRX, these two both ended up moving up so much yesterday that, normally what makes the top percent gainers list one day makes the percent losers list the next. So that's ultimately what happened here on KSPN and the PLRX trade. So KSPN ran from like 350 all the way up to near 750 throughout the early afternoon. Then obviously now down 14% from the close. It's possible for it to make another run up, but I'm not fully convinced in it doing so just yet. So I'm not going to put this on the main list so far. And then same to be said with the PLRX trade, right? PLRX ended up making an even bigger move percentage wise across the day, ended up running up beautifully from like 11, $10 at the time in pre-market all the way up. I mean, well above the home run target I had in mind. I was looking for 1950 to 20 when it was around like 11 or 12. And again, that's more of a home run target. You don't like kick your feet up and assume that's definitively going to happen. But we had reason to believe that this could make the move, at least later on in the day, up towards 1950 to 20. Well, I'll be damned. This thing ended up popping up to 1950 to 20 within the first 30 minutes of the market open. So actually beat my expectations very shortly after the opening bell. But again, same to be said here, as I just said before, when the volume dies off, you don't want to get stuck holding. So this ended up dumping off from 18 or from 22 all the way down to 18. And yeah, later in the day, it ended up bouncing back up, made one more squeeze. But again, right now, this morning in pre-market, very choppy, down, it's flat. For as much as it pumped up yesterday, odds are you're going to see profit taking. If not today, then it'll be tomorrow, right? And you expect for that to be today anyway. So that's where I say, what makes the percent gainers list typically makes the percent losers list the next day. And if it doesn't do it that day, I guarantee you it will do it over time. So, I'm not fully keen to put either of them on our list at this point, the KSPN or the PLRX. If they end up making a big pop at the end of this meeting, then I'll be more interested. Speaking of big pops, already a stock that we had on the morning watch list already making a big pop. GOEV, another big push here, right? Broke above resistance at 420, much bigger pop this time from the first test. So this GOEV trade, Canoo, is making a really nice run right now. Hey, I have to do my job. We have to go across from top to bottom here, folks. But We don't need to produce a big list when we have GOEV running right now, right? All right. So the other stock that we had called out, at least after 8 o'clock this morning, it wasn't on the pre-market list officially, but going into 8 o'clock, it made a nice pop. The issue on this trade, though, the INDO, or at least from earlier at the time, it was really thin. Like you're talking a 20-cent spread on this thing early on this morning. Thankfully, the liquidity has filled in a decent amount. It's still thin, but the spreads are like way more contained on this trade, right? Finally. So that being said, it's dumping off pretty steadily from the high. So, hopefully there is one more bounce left on this trade, the INDO. For right now, I'll put this on our list. Hard not to at this stage. Former runner. We ended up doing really well on this stock going back into the beginning of this year from like March time. Ended up running from like $8 or $9 at that point, all the way up to near $190, right there. And that's a real run, by the way. I just want new attendees to know that, because sometimes like the daily charts can be skewed or chopped up based on like reverse stock splits. Doesn't look like the actual move. This is the actual move that we traded back in March and February on INDO. This thing completely exploded back then. Same to be said for all of these energy stocks back then, at least. ENSV, 9, HUSA. These are all stocks at the same exact time as INDO back then that took off. So naturally, I ended up looking at all of those trades in pre-market after the INDO popped. None of them ended up making a clear move yet, right? So don't hold your breath waiting for all the other energy stocks here. But INDO in particular, I'll put some spotlight on. I'll put that on our main list. All right, AKAN. It's like flat over $1 right now. We had this on our pre-market list. This was very active prior to 8 o'clock and ended up making a small little bounce, at least from like 110, but failed to really push higher. So from there, ended up dropping off. It still remains tradable heading into the open. Bit of a cheapie, but I'll slip this on the back end of our watch list at least, seeing if this could break under and then back over $1 right there. BHAT, I saw this pop on my Benzinga scan as soon as I started the meeting. So the BHAT stock I knew I was going to run into. This is also a familiar name back from like a couple weeks back that we ended up calling out and running from like $1.10 all the way up towards like 3.50. So we know this thing can move. And with that, so long as it's trading good volume and has easy to read levels, this would be a great stock to trade. It's not always every day that it trades, good volume and has easy to read levels. So for right now, whatever led to this pop definitely piques my interest. I'll put this on our watch list as well. Norman. Norman on a small Twitter trade. Got some money on Twitter just now on a little move up. So, we'll jump to Twitter. We'll jump to NEO, AMC, the airlines, perhaps, and other sideless stocks here just at the end. With the inflation numbers to be released tomorrow and expecting hesitation within the market, unless if there's something really looking sharp in terms of a sideless stock, I'll be more interested in like the gainers list here so far. Everything that we have on the main morning watch list already, I'm more interested in. Peloton. Peloton is something that we saw make a squeeze at least after 8 o'clock. Ended up making a nice little push from like 920-ish all the way up to 960. So at one point it was up like 6.5-7% on the morning. It's very active, right? I think some news came out on Peloton, at least from yesterday, in relation to them halting in-house production of their bikes. Yeah, the company announced it is exiting all owned manufacturing operations and expanding its current relationship with leading Taiwanese manufacturer Rexon Industrial Corp. That's the headline. All right, well, it's actually up 4+%, right? Pretty odd move to see that come out and for this to squeeze up as much. Maybe it's less expenses, with that in mind, and a little reaction from the market for that reason. I don't know. I mean, right now it's very active, so for that reason alone, I'm interested in it. But there's not really a clear trend over the last hour, right? It's like kind of flat. The volume at 940 and 935, I would expect that range to be a big level throughout the day. Um, let's see what's on the losers list first, and then I'll see if Peloton's worthy of being put on our main list. I feel like that's probably the front runner for all the sideless stocks, at least for right now. Man, that GOEV, folks, is completely ripping right now. I don't know if anyone jumped in when we were, going over this stock, but holy smokes, this thing is on fire. Chris or John or Glenn or Robert, Norman, Kathleen, anyone in this Insider Live trading room right now? I don't want to distract anyone should they be, but I'm always asking. John says he's back in at 425. All right, nice. Yehuda in also. Jeff in at 440. Excellent. Cool. All right, let's hop on over to the losers list, folks. Looks like there was a little profit taking actually just on this trade a moment ago. A 26,000 share print filled at 456, just right off the high there. So watch that 456 price for right now. As we hop over to the loser side here, a lot that's hard to borrow. Not going to really look to focus on it. UCO is an ETF, crude oil ETF, down big this morning. Novavax down big, a little pricey, but I'll just check it out. It's down big this morning. Nice little short seems like happening there. All right, not to sound lazy here, folks, but that's it from the loser side. Really, nothing else really trading any sort of respectable volume. PLRX not worth watching yet. KSPN not worth watching yet. And nothing else that really looks that good of a short. Wayne got some money on the GOEV trade right now too, and Bill C. Excellent. All right, folks. Hey, really quickly for all of our students, keep in mind we always like to post our entry points when we look to post any sort of profit or win that you may look to post inside the room. Why is that? Because at least it gives others a potential chance as to knowing why you took the trade. This is obviously a live professional trading room. This is not a teaching room. But if there's any way that we could try and connect the dots and knowing why you took the trade that you took, the only thing that we ask is just for students and members to post their entry point with the profit that they post. Remember, it's not just about the oohs and ahs and the look at me's, but hey, for all of our students here, you want to follow those bigger trades and realize why those students made the money that they made allegedly. So, that's always what we like to ask. Right now on the GOEV trade, there's about a 32,000 share iceberg that just popped up at 480. So that's your new resistance on this trade, at least based off of level 3. All right, folks, I think that just about wraps it up here for me. If there's anything else up or down, let me know. Type it in here in the chat board. I don't have anything else, at least as far as other call outs here from inside the live trading room. And same to be said on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. I got nothing else. Let me just check Benzinga Pro briefly here, see if there's anything that we all collectively missed, myself included. I got nothing, folks. INDO is really the only one otherwise that's like making a little inch back up off the bottom. It's not even that, looking like a real bounce just yet. Peloton's the only stock I'd said I'd come back to. It was on the quote unquote side list. At this point, we don't have too big of a list at this stage, so I'll slip Peloton on the main list there. Up 5% now, seeing if that could, if not hold over 935 to 940, that range should just be a really strong level to work with going into the market open today. All right, I think we're going to call it here, folks. So today, just a quick reminder that being Tuesday, we have our Traders Talk workshop, our weekly live Q&A hosted inside the live trading room. If you are logged inside the live trading room and you can hear my voice right now, just stay tuned. We have a full hour of audio commentary here, at least ahead, right at the opening bell. And then from that point, right at 11 o'clock, I'll jump back on the mic. And then from that point, we'll begin our weekly Traders Talk workshop. So folks, last call on any questions that you would like to send over my way for Traders Talk. Send it over to my email address, josh@c2trading.com. Again, I'll repost that for all of us on social media here right now. Again, if you wanted to join our trading room for our live workshop, just go right down to the link on the blue banner below the stream right there to get yourself started. But for John, Norman, Kathleen, Yehuda, Bill, Jeff, John, Norman, Chris, and all of us just live inside the room, I look forward to talking to you folks coming up here at 9:30 right at the opening bell. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9.